the other day I recently rewatched the first Terminator film that was in cinemas. I think it was the 40th anniversary from the first Terminator film. I think that came out in 1984, I suppose, so yeah, 40th anniversary. A film that I just love. It's super interesting to me. I certainly understand the love for Terminator 2 because I think it's one of the quintessential sci-fi films of a generation and does a lot of things right. In terms of it being a sequel to the first film, they really do sequel it up. They go bigger, they go better, they go badder, they go to that next level in the sequel. But there's something just so grounded about the first film that I just loved. So I watched that the other day, and it really just reminded me how different the two films are and how much I really prefer the first one. I've always preferred the first one. Of course, like I'm saying, I understand the love for the second one, but I love the first one because it feels so small scale. It feels so genuine. It's got that soul about it that James Cameron was making this on, even back then, what was probably considered a shoestring budget. And yeah, just making that film happen, and it's not much of a sci-fi, to be honest. There's sci-fi elements of it, of course, but the second one is full sci-fi. This one is more of a horror sort of thriller sort of film where it's just executed so well, so it feels like it's so much more than that, and it is. But in terms of the skeleton, to use a pun, in terms of the skeleton of the story, it is very, typical thriller, unstoppable enemy, main characters on the run, trying to survive. It is very much that. But nonetheless, in my opinion, the first Terminator film is the best. In my opinion, that's just what I think. I think a lot of the other films are probably overhated on. The new ones are particularly bad. The new ones are particularly bad, but the first two were great. The third one wasn't too bad. The fourth one was really different, and even though it wasn't a film that I've gone back and watched loads, I've watched it a couple of times, and I appreciate them trying to do something different with the franchise. I certainly appreciate that. But the first Terminator film is amazing to me. Arnie's performance is a bit shaky at times. I think he's not quite nailed being the Terminator yet. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily the best Terminator performance, but it's the best Terminator film. I remember there being a couple scenes when, like, Arnie's shooting the gun, and he's like making these sort of like facial movements, like he's shocked or like he's sort of braced himself like he's a robot. He shouldn't do that, but he does. Obviously, gives the iconic line, "I'll be back," in the film. There's no beating that. It's just amazing. That's the first time you hear it, and yeah, that's it. It's just the best. And yeah, so the first Terminator film I watched recently, and yeah, for me it's my favourite. But be super curious to know what you guys think of the Terminator films. I imagine a lot of you are going to tell me, yeah, the second one is the best. But yeah, let's have that conversation. I'm super interested to know what you guys think of that. Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be it from me for now. And been great talking to you guys. And I'm out. Peace.